Welcome, everybody, to your Seven Square Podcast CEO Spotlight, where we feature top notch CEOs who are killing the game in their business. And you know how we do it. We keep it quick, we keep it short, and where you can take the information and implement it. And today I got a great friend with me, Mr. Ben Bakayako, also known as Billionaire Ben. Ben, how's it going today?
I'm pumped up, geeked up, and super excited. Let's go.
I love it. And so, Ben, for those that don't know you, give us a little bit of background about yourself. Who is Billionaire Ben?
Billionaire Ben, first and foremost, is a believer in God, a father to a happily married husband, and a coach that helps other coaches earn a full-time income coaching. And for me, for most coaches, that's their first six figures in business. And I help them do that without chasing cheap or hot maintenance clients that don't really respect or value their time.
Ooh, that's it. All in the wrap. We can end the podcast right there. You gave us everything. Hey, just reach out to Ben. He'll help you get to that first six figures. But Ben, what is something, and you and I have had a lot of conversations around this, but I don't know if that's the way you're gonna go because we know this is off the cuff. But my question for you today is, what is one thing or one challenge that you faced early in your business that crippled you that you were able to overcome, and how did you overcome it?
Man, yeah, that's really good. I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan, and one of the things that he teaches is just like, yo, in order to start a business, you got to take a significant risk. Like you're not in business without taking a risk, right? So for me, I've been playing entrepreneur for probably like the past 10 years. Like I'm a speaker or something like that, and then I started coaching on the side and made some investments in some coaching programs and stuff like that. But this year, I made a huge leap where it's just like in the first huge leap was paying he was doing like 5K coaching programs for 30 minutes. I was willing to it was 5K and I was just geeked up. I was just like, E is doing one-on-one coaching sessions. Then it was like 5K. I'm like, shucks, that's $5,000. Luckily, I was an extreme execution coach. I think it cost me about $3,000. But I was like, that's still more money than I earn in a month. I was doing like 2,500 working full time. So being able to make that investment in myself and my business was huge. So what allowed me to do that? Mindset, right? So without the mindset or the belief that you can win, you're not going to take the necessary action. So that was the first big step for me. And I was just like, in the back of my head, like, what is he going to teach me in 30 minutes that I don't already know? Right. But the truth was, he didn't teach me anything, but he gave me belief that it was possible for me to win. Because up until that point, I really didn't think it. So I tried something, didn't work, try something else. And I was just, what's it called? Double dutching.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first huge thing for me. And of course, I could go deeper on that topic because I've made more significant investments since then.
So before you go deeper, because I want you to go deeper on that, because I think that mindset and the investments necessary to grow business, people kind of skip out on that. They just want to jump in, they want it to work, they want to take what they call action, but it's not the right action in the right direction. But you made a statement. You said he didn't teach you anything, he gave you belief. Oftentimes I've noticed, and I know you've noticed, a lot of coaches, speakers, and just business people in general, they go from coach to coach, program to program, YouTube video to YouTube video looking for the answer. And it's not that the answer doesn't lie there. The answer is within. It's the mindset. There's the answer. It's the belief. They don't believe they can do it. So take us a little bit deeper into the mindset and also continue down that path of making those right investments.
Oh man, that was huge. I'm loving how this conversation is going, Tires. So what's huge is I remember being the guy that looked up to E, that looked up to a Tony Robbins or a Bob Proctor, and was always wondering what they could do for me. Like it's just like help me, help me, help me, right? And then when I started to invest in their coaching programs, I wasn't getting the help that I thought I needed, but I was getting the help that I needed. They helped me realize that what you said, the answers are found within. So I started asking more and better questions, right? Started to believe in myself more and started to produce in myself more. And what does that necessarily mean? Making mistakes.
Yeah.
So I was willing to make mistakes so that I could actually learn and progress faster. and then asking questions for adjustments. I used to be scared to ask questions. I used to be on coaching calls like, I don't want to ask a stupid question. So I'd sit on a coaching call, bro, for like months and not ask my question, find an answer 3 months later, and then ask my question.
So you got the answer, but you go back and ask the question anyway because you felt
Forgot.
more confident.
Yeah. I'm just like, Ben, cut the crap. Just ask the question up front so you collapse time frames. So just being brave enough to put yourself out there and be vulnerable enough to be like, yo, I don't know. This is what I'm working on. This is the mistakes that I'm making. Help me out. And there's small tweaks that make the biggest difference.
Yeah, that's good. That's another good principle. Small adjustments. When you steer a ship, you don't just spin that bad boy and the ship turn 180 or 90 degrees. You have to slowly turn the ship to course correct. You slowly turn the airplane to course correct. And a lot of business owners out there, they try to just do everything at once. I just want to do a complete 360, revamp everything, and then it collapses. That's because you got to make small adjustments. Now, Ben, and I noticed that on some of those calls that I'm on, your hand go up. Whenever it's time for Q&A, that hand is up. So I can be attest to Ben ask questions now, y'all. He ain't sitting back in the background. He going to get those questions answered. Ben, there's a huge investment, and you don't have to share the number if you don't want to, but you made a significant investment into yourself, and that has translated into your coaching business going to the next level. Help us with the mindset around that decision and also kind of the fire it put under you because you put out such a significant investment.
Dude, I don't know if I told you, but I did my numbers, right? And I ended up investing $250K in the coaching last year, bro.
In 1 year, $250K, y'all. Take notes. Listen. A lot of you want something for nothing, but go ahead, Ben.
Here's what's so crazy. One of my coaches, Chris Crane, what's it called? He said, poor people spend all their money, so they have nothing left. He said, middle class people save all their money, so they're middle class. And he said, wealthy people invest their money so they get their freedom, essentially. Right. So that was huge. Right. And then you kind of talked about belief earlier as well. So I'm gonna wrap this in around. One of the things that I paid E first up, right? And then after I paid E, Mark Weller, so you know who he is. I remember listening to him on a Social Proof podcast, and he was like, yo, it's easier to earn. At the time, I had a 45K salary. And he was like, it's easier to earn 100K. No, he said it's harder to earn 50K a year than it is to earn 50K in a month. And he said it's harder to earn 50K in a week than it is to earn 50K in a day.
Yeah.
And he said it's harder to earn 50K in a day than it is 50K in a day than it is 50K in an hour. I heard that and it blew my mind because my annual salary was 45K. I thought about the overtime, not time with my family, the customer service calls, like it was huge. And that was a whole year of my life for 45K. And here's somebody that's telling me I could do that in a month or a day or an hour. I'm like, bump my beliefs. Give me some of that. Like, figure that out. And I was able to do the 45K, my annual salary in a month. Why? Because I made the investments in myself, bro. So that 250K that I invested in, I remember that Jim Rohn says, it's just like your income will not far exceed your personal development. I didn't take that lightly. So I actually been tracking how much I've been spending in personal development over the past few years. And it's just like maybe 4 years ago was 7K and then 10K. And then the year before last was probably about 13K. And that was my best year in business. I think I did like $7,000. I was just like, this actually works. So this year I just went all out. And when I went all out, 150K, let's go. So most people will look at that like it's a deficit, but no, I have the mindset, the belief in the systems that actually exponentially increase that.
That's good. That's good. And so when you're thinking about it, you're listening, you're like, man, I don't know if I can make that investment. That part right there is where you're stuck. You have to, and when you do a thing, because the money's there. Like when we talk about Bob Proctor, the money is always around us. It's in the universe. There's no lack of money. You have to become resourceful to find where it is for you in order to make the investment so you can go to the next level. Because we're not talking about just investing and throwing away money or spending or wasting. We're talking about investing in a coach, investing in a system, and then actually doing what the system tells you to do, applying the knowledge that you're receiving so you can grow, so you can believe. Sometimes you can go into a system and they may not be showing you everything that you think, but when you sit back and you really look at what they're breaking down, it's more about your mindset, your belief. I was reading in Think and Grow Rich. It said you got to create a consciousness of success. Most people are poor and broke because that's the consciousness that they have, a poverty consciousness. So you have to figure out, how do you go from poverty and lack mindset to abundance and wealth mindset. And that's been, as I've watched your journey, that's where you've been, because most of the calls that we talk about, our discussions are only on mindset. We don't even talk business. We talk mindset, because both of us understand that once we lock that in, we can go to the next level. And so, Ben, what is the number one thing that you teach your clients? Because you're helping coaches that are, I see the screenshots, they making 5-figure months now. What are you teaching them about the mindset that you could share with the audience?
Yeah, darn it. So one of the things that I actually say before somebody actually enrolls with me is just like, we're going to need 4 characteristics in order for this joker to work. And one, you're going to have to be decisive, right? And I'm like, yo, decisions have to be irrevocable, right? And I really got that part I got from Tony, where he's like, yo, understand this. When we make, Tony and Bob really speaks to this a lot. Tony is just like, yo, when human beings make a decision as to when they put themselves in a position where they're going to either die or succeed, they tend to succeed.
Right.
And that's what I actually did this year. I put myself in positions where it's just like, each investment, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this shit. And because I didn't know how I was gonna pay for it, the 4th characteristic is resourcefulness. Because it was something that I really wanted, I found the freaking way. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it comfortable? Hell no, but I got the result, so it was worth it. So we got to make those decisions, and then we got to be committed. And what that means is like, yo, when you make the decision after a 3-day event, after a coaching call, after hearing ET or something like that, we make those decisions, and then all of a sudden, a week, a month, or 3 months later, it's just like, I want to go back on that decision. What I wanted is not what I want anymore. So the commitment is just like, yo, you got to stay committed to it long after the mood you made that commitment is long gone. All right. So I teach them how to address their inner conflicts. Those 2 voices in our head, one saying is just like, yo, I think I can. And one is saying, I think I can't. And the only way to overcome that, I learned, is to get to a point where you realize you have nothing. Because me and you had the conversation. Are you chasing your dreams or running away from your fears?
Right. Yep.
Overcome that, right? Bob says there are 3 types of goals. One for what you know you can do, what you think you can do, and what you really want. And it's just like, most people set goals for what they already know how to do, and there's no growth there. Some people go from that and set goals for what they think they can do, and they get all the data, develop this elaborate plan, but when the plan doesn't follow through or isn't going the way they want it to, one moment they think they can, the other moment they think they can't. It's just like, I quit, right? It gets too much work. But Bob is like, yo, set the goal for what you want. And when you set that goal, if you already know how to do it, it's the wrong goal. If it doesn't scare you, it's the wrong goal. So when you set the goal, you go into that joker knowing it's almost impossible for who you are now. But you set the goal because the purpose of a goal is to grow, not to make money, not to live a better lifestyle. He's like, yo, that's a side benefit. Because if you, I've always told people, I want to be the type of guy, you take away everything I have, throw me in a foreign country, and then within 30 days to a year, I got everything I had back. I want to be that, because the money, it goes up and down. Everything else goes up and down. But who you become, you keep forever. So I want to grow. So I really nailed that home.
Oh, that's good, Ben. That's good. I love the committed phase, because I heard somebody say, are you curious or are you committed? A lot of people are just curious. A lot of people are curious about business. They're curious about growing. They're curious about getting healthy. They're curious about eating right. They're curious about having their family do better or live a better life or build better relationships. They're curious. They think they want it. It sounds good, but they're never fully committed and ready to take action. And that's principle one in in Napoleon Hill's is definiteness of purpose.
Yeah.
What is my purpose? Am I sold out to it? Am I creating the intense desire necessary to
Right.
pursue it? Am I willing to give everything to get it? And most
Yeah.
people are not willing to do that. And I think that's where in the mindset you get stuck. And that's procrastination.
Yeah. And the only reason I wouldn't give everything is I made the assumption that I won't get it back.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Ben, you gave us some good things. I need a bonus from you though. I need a bonus. We got the question. One of the biggest things that you had to overcome, of course, mindset. You gave us some ways of how to do it. One is to start telling yourself to go ahead, move it, change the way you think, get around those individuals through coaching, investing in yourself. Then you shared the nuggets with what you do with your clients. Tell us, Ben, the importance of words, though. That's because
Words.
mindset really dials into how we speak to ourselves and the story that we tell ourselves. So just like running away from your fears, chasing your dreams, talk to us about how what language and what words we speak to ourselves, how they hold us back from being as successful as we can be.
Yeah, yeah. I teach people it's thoughts, feelings, actions, results. Thoughts are words. That's all it is, right? And just to give you a really good example, I knew it was supposed to be 15 minutes, but you asked for a bonus.
Yeah, I need the
Um,
bonus.
Bob, Bob introduced, like, I remember I was on Bob's Inner Circle call, and I had been reading his words for quite some time. It's a decision-making article, right? And in the article, I created my own affirmation from it. Essentially, he was saying is just like, yo, um, one, we have to make decisions. We know that, right? And
Yep,
Bob is just like, one, I make decisions within 30 seconds. So he
yep.
has a definite purpose. And he's just like, if I don't make decisions within these 5 to 10 seconds, I already know my limiting paradigm, which means the limiting words, thoughts, and feelings that I have about this particular subject is going to override what I truly want, my higher self. And he says, like, yo, I never make a decision based on money or exterior circumstances, right? He said, once I make a decision, I'll find the money every single time. He's like, that's fact. So I never make a decision based on money or how. And he's just like, if you do that, that's okay. But I choose not to do that. And I got on the call and I'm just like, yo, Bob, I've been reading this affirmation for a very long time, but I don't see how I'm going to make a decision and I don't have the money yet. And he was just like, I see you. Like, you got you're very left brain, you got a strong personality. Once you figure something out, you'll go. And he was just like, I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I'm right branded. So I don't need to figure it out before I do it. I actually
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
And I was just like, ooh. He was just like, where does money gonna come from? Wherever it is right now. He's like, there's an infinite supply of money. So once you make the decision, you'll always find it. So each time I made one of those decisions, I was reading that article every day and chanting that affirmation. I'm the guy that makes the decision based on what I really want, like not pseudo want, but yo, my heart, my
Mm-hmm.
soul, it's gonna grow me, help others. I make decisions based on that without worrying about the money. And when I make that decision, I'll always find the money. Where's it gonna come from? Wherever it is right now.
Oh, that's good. And it's somewhere right now. And something I tell my clients every time they talk about investing in something else, something new, when it comes up to say, where am I gonna get the money from? I don't have it. Sell a product. You got a product to sell. Find the number of clients you need in order to pay for that thing. If you owe or want to invest 10 grand in something, how many clients do you need to buy your product to make that 10 grand? So we got to stop. The money is there. We just
Yeah,
have to become resourceful enough to go out and get it. Any
yeah.
last things you want to share with the audience, Ben?
Yeah, just on that comment, I before I invested in Tony's program, like I remember I wanted to do his program maybe for the past 3 years, right? It was kind of like a 6-figure program, and I remember being on a call with his sales guy. His name is Scott Humphrey, and I wanted to do the program last year, January. This time, he was just like, "Yo, this joint is going to be about like 80K plus all the trips and stuff like that is going to be well above 6 figures." I'm just like, yo, my annual salary is 45K. How am I going to do this? I don't have the money. Tony's just like, well, with that mindset, you're never going to find the money. And
Ooh,
he's like, yo, this ain't for you. go into one of the other programs. And that triggered a burning desire in me. I was just like, yo, F you, Scotty. I'm going to figure it out. Kind of to your point. So if you say, I don't have the money, I can't, it's true. But if you say, hey, I'm going to figure it out, going back to words, you can actually figure it out. And that all comes back to your belief in yourself.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. We know that. And I want, if you're listening and you think that what we're talking about, the mindset, is all just law of attraction, mumbo jumbo, it doesn't work. This works scientifically. There are scientific studies. A lot of neuroscientists are showing that there are chemicals released in our brain when we think a certain way. The positivity increases. The feel good hormones are released. When you start thinking positively, your body wants more, and this will move you into the direction to get more. And so instead of ask or saying, I can't, I don't know, just ask yourself how. I might not have six figures today to invest in something. How am I going to get it? And when you say how, your brain immediately opens up processing that will start to look subconsciously. You don't even know awareness, but you just know, oh, I'm in these rooms. I see something I never saw before. You hear something that you didn't hear before. It's because you opened your brain and allowed your subconscious to move you and will you in the direction that you need to go. Ben, we are 20 minutes, sir. We love to just try to stay within that 15 to give people actionable things. Go out, figure out ways you can invest in yourself. Change your mindset, and you will watch your entire life, not just business, but your entire life go to the next level. Ben, how can people reach you?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Ben by Coaching, or at my website at benbycoaching.com. So if you're the type of person that wants to earn a full-time income coaching, and to me that's at least six figures without having to chase cheap, high maintenance clients that don't respect or value your time, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or go to my website.
I love it. I love it. Ben, thank you for joining me today. Always a pleasure to have a conversation with you. I appreciate you and all the knowledge that you drop. Ladies and gentlemen, go out, follow Ben. He drops great content. I always take something from him and I kind of mix it up and I put it back in my own way to use it for my own clients. But we had a kind of relationship where we share knowledge and information because he has his tribe, I have my tribe, and there is no competition between us. So go out, follow Ben, look at what he has to offer. And if it works for you, I encourage you to definitely try him out. Again, thank you guys for joining us for another edition of the Seven Square Podcast CEO Spotlight. And we'll see you next time.